Well, Leigh, it's now been just shy of a month since Matt Taylor and Neil McDonald were appointed as new head coach and assistant coach. How have they been settling in?
Yeah, really well. I mean, I'm really pleased with the way they've settled in. I think the thing I've enjoyed most has been the energy, enthusiasm and excitement of them actually, and the way that sort of permeates through the rest of the club. So I think they've got down to work. I know Jamie and Matt in particular are working really hard on recruitment, as you've seen some of the benefits of that. So I'm very pleased with the start. Yeah.
And you mentioned technical director there, Jamie Fullerton. He's been in the role for a couple of months himself now as well. How has he settled into the role?
He's settled in all right. I mean, let's be clear about that. I mean, I asked him to come in and impact the club. You know, I was unhappy with lots of aspects of the footballing side of the club, and I asked him to come in and get stuck in really, and he certainly has done that. I think no stone left unturned. He's relentless. He's aggressive in the way he goes about things, and all the things I wanted him to do. You know, he's changing the culture and the atmosphere of the club, and the thing he's brought to the club, which I really want him to do, is rigour on the recruitment side. He has a plan, he has a process, he has rigour, and nothing deflects him from it. And that's what I want to see, coupled with a remarkable work ethic. He never stops. I'll give you an example. He rang me at 10:15 on Sunday. Not particularly want to have a phone call from him at 10:15 on a Sunday, I can assure you, but he did, because he'd been with a player who we were trying to recruit and actually I think now have, and that meant him driving halfway across the country to meet with the player and his family on a Sunday, which he did, and it's a sort of character that we've got in the club. So yeah, he's made a big impact very quickly. The relationship with him and Matt is working particularly well, and you've seen it with the players that we brought in. So it's a much different environment, a much more professional, I don't want to use the word aggressive, but rigour is probably the best word I can use of the approach that we've now got.
And when Jamie first came in, we did an interview and you said that you wanted him to offer a level of stability to the club. How has he done that since he's come in as well? Well,
I said at the time, and it's worth repeating, you know, managers will come, managers will go, but technical directors don't. He's, you know, hopefully, I mean, you never know in life, do you? But he has that stability of being on the board of the club, and hopefully will be here for a long time, managing the process of the football within this football club in all of its aspects. And so you're not got the situation where a manager comes, leaves, and then all of a sudden the club goes into meltdown. Not having it. So he gives us that sort of comfort, the what he calls de-skilled environment, de-risked environment, not de-skilled, that's the opposite, de-risked environment for the club, to make sure that we're, you know, whatever happens, Walsall Football Club will progress.
And there's been 4 signings announced now, including the one today. What has changed, you know, from the strategical side of things that hasn't possibly been there in the last couple of windows since you've been the chairman?
Well, I think it's this ad hoc recruitment, you know, players brought in on loan or that never actually play for us, and I don't want that, you know. I want us to be far more planned, far more rigour in the type of player that we bring in here. And players that are going to play, when you've got no matter what the budget is, don't waste it. And I think football budgets get wasted, and we're being extremely careful this year under the guidance of Matt and of course Jamie, to make sure whoever we bring in here actually kicks footballs for us and plays football and makes a meaningful impact on the team. So it's just a different process, far more, I think, professional, far more rigour, as I mentioned before. And we've ended up with 3 have already been announced, 1 hopefully will be announced today. 4 players who will make a hell of a difference to this football club.
And whilst the 4 players have certainly, plucked up a lot of excitement in the fan base, it is still about managing expectations at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think the fans can rightly expect us to not have a repeat of last season, because I won't have a repeat of last season. The expectation levels will be higher as a result of the players we bought in and the management team we bought in, I hope, and that's perfectly reasonable and right that we should do that. So the fans should expect us not to have a repeat. I expect us to be a challenging club this year. I can't guarantee promotion. I wish God I could, but I can tell you this, that we're having a real go at it this year. As I've said, I don't want to repeat it last year. I want to have a real go for it this year, and I expect us to be a very challenging club this year, and so does everybody else.
And on the note of fans, season tickets for the upcoming campaign go on sale on Monday. What would be your message to the fans?
Well, continuing that same theme, really, I suppose, that we're up for it. I really hope they are. We've missed them sorely, I've been on record as saying I did not enjoy much of last season at all. Sitting in stands on your own it's not what I want to do. I think be optimistic about the season. You've seen the sort of signings that we've made. You've met the new management team who will make a big difference to us. So be optimistic. We are going to challenge this season, and we're going to push very, very hard, and it would help enormously if they were behind us to help us get there, as they've done in the past. So I expect a pretty damn good season, and I'm looking forward to seeing them back in this stadium very soon, particularly with the Crystal Palace game. I think the first game will be here this season, and if the COVID-19 constraints can be lifted a little bit, that will help us enormously. So looking forward to it. I'll make the point that the season ticket process is different this year. I don't want any single fan not to take on a new season ticket because the process is different or more difficult than it's been in the past. It actually isn't. You're just bringing the football club up to date. Very few football clubs now have little booklets with tickets in, and we're one of the few remaining. That stopped. So it's a more electronic world now, and it's more downloading your ticket and all this sort of stuff. If anyone struggles with that, then we have a help desk here to help people through it, and I don't want anyone not coming to this football club or buying a season ticket because the process is alien to them. We'll help them through that process, I promise you. And I just want you back here, and I want you back here as soon as possible.